All right.
Questions are
We were
fun.
so anti-questions after that first time.
Yeah, we were like never again.
Ever again.
All right, so let's get it started. Welcome back to the Memo. We're happy to be back. You got the same guys as always: Richard Lyons, Alex Masados, and Matt Brodsky on camera. Michael Kornfeld off camera. It is Saturday. What is it? April 27th now.
Yep.
It's the third day of the NFL draft. We got it on TV right here, rounds 4 to 7. We're going to talk a little bit about the Jets and Giants and their picks so far. Then the entire playoffs is not set yet for the NBA, the second round, because the Spurs and Nuggets have to play tonight. But we'll talk a little bit about the second round, what we think of the matchups. We're not going to give predictions for the game because by the time the episode's up, it'll be over. But yeah, we'll talk about that. And then we got questions again. We got the questions
Nuggets
back.
better win.
You want the Nuggets to win?
It'd be disappointing if they lost.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, 2 seed. But it wouldn't be that surprising if the Spurs went. But, I mean, Nuggets are good at home, so we'll see.
Great.
But, yeah, we'll finish it off with some questions. We got some good ones this week. So we want to start it off. The big topic is obviously the draft and what the Giants did in the draft. But let's talk about the Jets side first because it's a little less, controversial and not as much to talk about. The Jets got Quinnen Williams in the first round, 3rd overall. It's not really a surprise to anyone. Is it a surprise to you guys?
It was a little bit surprising.
Yeah, you might have thought they would go edge there, Josh Allen, but it's just
Yeah.
it was such a Mac pick, McCagnon.
Yeah, he tends to go best player available. Definitely not like a pressing need for the team, but yeah, I'm definitely not mad about it. He's pretty much the consensus best player in the draft. I think they were probably trying to move down, probably didn't get the deal they wanted, and just went with Quinnen. Can't go wrong.
Yeah, there were reports that they were trying to move down. I saw Rappaport tweeting about it, and they just didn't have the deal. And at that point, the best player that some people say the best player in the draft is on the board. If you don't have a good enough deal to move down, you gotta just.
When he sneezed and blessed himself.
Yeah, that was
it
so funny. No, the best is the Kyler Murray video.
Why did he do that?
What he was about to say? Oh, the
Why did
blessing.
he bless himself?
I guess.
I think he was just nervous.
He goes. He said it like serious too.
Bless
He's
you.
like, "Thank you."
Bless you, thank you. But the Kyler Murray
weird.
video
You
is
see
mad
that?
funny.
Yeah, I was explaining that to my dad today, and even my dad laughed.
Really? He's like,
yeah, it was
I don't think Kyler Murray is whatever.
I'm good.
I'm cool.
I'm good. But yeah, he has a good story. I mean, the stuff with his mom. I was watching a video about it. Like, really brought the family together. They're all like hardworking people, nice people.
Yeah.
So that's the type of guy you want, and I mean,
Definitely.
it's the type of culture the Jets are building. And I know people were upset with not getting an edge rusher in the first round, but I personally think our 3rd round pick, I believe you pronounce it Ja'Kai Polite. I think he could be a steal, depending on if his head's on right. That was pretty much the issue with him. Bad combine, didn't interview well, but they say his tape is top 15 talent. So you got guys like Jamal Adams, C.J. Mosley, a coordinator like Greg Williams, who's not taking any shit from anyone. Hopefully they can spark a fire. If this was still a Todd Bowles coach team, I'd say he's doomed because Todd Bowles just has no fire, no passion. That's not the place you wanted a guy like this going into. But I think
head coach with no fire and no passion.
Yeah, dude, I can't even
why
believe
he is where he is.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean,
Polite, I don't know about Polite.
no. Why don't you like him? You've been.
He's got the talent, but he seems like he's just like a head case. Like, and especially with a coordinator like Greg Williams, who's very in your face and like aggressive.
Well,
Polite was like literally crying at the combine because the people that he interviewed with, the actual scouts and like the teams, they were like criticizing his game tape, which is like normal. Like,
yeah.
you're at the combine, like, you break this down for us. Like, what were you doing here? And he was just like, he got so like upset about it and so bent out of shape because they were criticizing
Yeah,
him.
you never know with that stuff though. A team could be sort of one-sided about the story. What if they were like actually being? I mean, I'm not saying like they were being rude or anything or being like dicks, but you never know. They could have been not like.
Well, he said it. He said
It's
they
like
were just
a-
criticizing my game tape.
Oh.
But it's like a job interview, you know.
Yeah,
they throw certain people at you to like throw
Yeah,
you
for
off your
sure.
game, and you're supposed to like be able to be nimble about it.
No, he definitely botched, and that's why he's a 3rd-round pick. But I'm not. That part sort of bothers me, the interview part, but the combine numbers. He said he had a hamstring injury, which I don't know if he just said that because he did bad, or if he actually did. But I was watching his tape, and like he flies around the field. Athleticism is not going to be a problem with him. So he's got to work on some stuff. He's got to work on his bend. He got to get a little more moves in his arsenal. But he's an athletic edge rusher. People say he could have been a first-round talent. I think we have some good leaders on defense. Maybe we can whip him into shape. And I'm not expecting him to be Von Miller day one. But if this guy pans out, then you just got an elite D tackle and possibly a double-digit sack guy in the same draft. So people shouldn't really be upset anymore.
Some of these headlines are funny about him, man.
Just to touch on the rest of the Jets draft picks, they also drafted a tackle out of USC, 21 years old. I forgot his name, something Umaga something.
Jets hoping Ja'Kai Polite has the character and will to get to Brady.
Everything about Brady with this team. What's it called? So, yeah, they drafted a tackle. He played with Darnold. He's really young. He's like 21 years old. He's very athletic. He had the top pass blocking grade in the entire offensive line class. I think he's going to be probably Beacham's backup to start. They're probably going to groom him to eventually be the left tackle. He's really athletic.
What's his name?
Chuma Edoga. He's a tackle.
Cool.
Played with Darnold. Pretty cool. Nice connection there. And they just drafted a tight end who people say is a great blocking tight end. So, by Eric Tomlinson. Good riddance. So, yeah, that's the Jets. Nothing really to hate. Quinnen Williams, I think, is going to be great. If Polite has his head on straight, he'll be good. Hopefully, this O-lineman pans out because Mac doesn't really care about the O-line, apparently. But, yeah, so on to the good stuff.
The Giants.
The New York Giants.
Yeah, we got a question from T. Mahan 962. Did the Giants blow the 6th pick, or is there potential? So, as everyone knows by now, with the 6th pick, the Giants took quarterback Daniel Jones from Duke. It was a heavily scrutinized pick.
Very heavily. And just to answer the second part of the question, there's always potential.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's potential there. The question is the potential worth the 6th pick?
Mm.
I didn't really read much about him. I didn't even really hear about him even going in the top 10 at all until recently. And it was.
I think he was always linked to the Giants just because of the connection with Cutcliffe, right?
He coached at Duke, right?
He coached at Duke, and he also was like a coach for Eli and Peyton. So there's that connection. He was always linked to the Giants, but I did not expect them to go with Jones at 6.
It's definitely a reach in terms of like what people think of Jones, his talent level and everything like that. He's not deserving of a top 6 pick, probably, especially with Haskins still on the board. Even Drew Lock, I think, would have been a better option. But like I've been saying, it's tough to really criticize them right now. We have to see how it plays out. There's a reason that they picked him. If they have that much conviction to take him at 6, that's something that at least Giants fans should understand. Like you have to have faith in the pick. And Gettleman said that he just loved everything he saw about him, from the Senior Bowl to highlights on tape and things like that. If that's who they wanted, then they have to take him at number 6.
Yeah, they were talking about it on the K show. They were arguing with Peter. Don and Michael were saying, look, if he was going to be their guy from the start, you got to take him at 6. Like, you don't let him go another 11 picks till 17, which I get. Now the question is, should he have been their guy?
Right. That's the question.
Yeah.
When he was picked, if he is the guy, take him at 6.
Yeah.
But does he deserve to be the pick? Probably not. We'll have to see. They know more than we do. They've scouted him more. But it
seems like nobody else was that high on him. It remained to be seen. Like, you don't know what would have happened in the next 11 picks. But
Richard said something funny the day of the draft when the Giants were coming up for 17, and Richard goes, "Oh, so he would have been there." As if he was going to get picked again between then and 17.
So a team comes out, nah, we want Jones.
Yeah.
So we're going to
Just for the record, he wouldn't have been there. We would have taken him. I thought that was funny, but you'll never know if he would have been there or not. Now, it's not something you want to leave up to chance if that's who you want.
Reading about him, it kind of reminds me of Josh Allen's hype coming out. It was sort of like, oh, he's huge, he got a big arm, he's pretty athletic, but he's not actually that good. He hasn't done anything, shown anything that great. It's sort of like, can you take these tools and put them all together, coach him up, sit him behind Eli for however long, and then eventually he comes in and he's fixed it all up. But he was last in passer rating among all the quarterbacks, last in a bunch of categories. You look at his stats; they're not that great. He played at Duke. I mean, I don't know. Maybe
really weird.
And
how
here's
much they
here's what
loved him.
I've been thinking about. Like literally every single move that Gettleman's made there's always people after, like, was that the right move? Saquon Barkley, was that the right? He's great. Was that the right move? Trading Odell, okay, there was some issues there, but like you got a first round pick. Was that the right move? Now Daniel Jones, like
Collins.
Collins, letting Collins go, not even trying to trade him or like getting anything back for him. Like everything he does is, up to this point, has been questionable. So I don't know if you can trust it. I don't know if you can, as a Giants fan.
And this is really like Gettleman is really going out on a limb here with this pick. Like he's putting his whole career on the line for Daniel Jones.
Yeah,
he's either gonna look like a genius or
just a
dumbass,
complete fool.
Yeah.
And he's got to be really good for this. He can't be Andy Dalton. He can't just be like middle of the pack, decent. He's got to be
your
top
franchise
15, top 10 quarterback. If you're picking him at 6 overall, when there's at least like 3 other guys on the board that people would say are better than him.
And
so
right next to him in the NFC East is going to be Haskins playing for the Redskins.
Yep,
so if he turns out good, then they're going to look even stupider.
Yeah, and they picked Barkley over Darnold, who plays in the same building. So all of these decisions are going to be staring him right in the face for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if he botched it and Jones ends up being the worst of Haskins, Darnold, and Jones, it's going to look so terrible.
Yeah.
Really, really bad.
This is off topic of the Giants, but Rosen's on the Dolphins now. That's pretty. 3 of the top 10 quarterback picks from last year's draft, all in the AFC East.
And Brady.
And Brady, yeah. So you got 3 young guns.
Can he just retire already?
Yeah.
Like, come on,
So
man.
annoying.
Let the kids play.
Yeah, but the rest of the Giants draft, they drafted a D tackle. What's his name?
Dexter Lawrence.
And then they traded up back into the first round for a cornerback. What is it? DeAndre Baker
from Georgia. Dexter Lawrence is definitely he was the best true nose tackle in the class.
That's the guy that got suspended for the championship game, right?
Yeah, boss. But I thought that was even a reach at 17. People were like, I thought he was more of like a 25 to 32 level prospect. I wanted him for the Chargers. So I didn't expect him to go that early, especially with like Montez Sweat still on the board. There was a couple other guys that I might have taken over Dexter Lawrence, but I don't think it's a bad pick. He's good. He could be good for them.
He was a senior, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think most people would say it's a pretty safe pick. Maybe too safe, but safe nonetheless.
Then in the 3rd round, they also drafted a D-end, and then they drafted Julian Love from Notre Dame, cornerback.
Julian Love fell a little bit.
Yeah, he did. I wanted the Jets to look into him, but we wanted another tight end.
They got some good picks.
He went before the Jets.
They're building that defense now.
Yeah, they're
a lot of good pieces.
A lot of young talent at corner now, with Janoris Jenkins there too. So probably gonna have a lot of competition going on. But obviously the big news, Daniel Jones. I feel bad for him. It's not his fault. He's gonna get ripped. He's getting ripped for nothing, basically, just for existing.
It's funny. Gettleman now has picked in 3 straight years. He's picked the MVP of the Senior Bowl.
Yeah, I heard that.
The quarterback, 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
Davis Webb, Kyle Lauletta, now Daniel Jones. What is he just?
Puts a lot of weight into that.
Whoever wins the MVP, we're taking him.
Maybe he just thinks the experience is like.
I feel like it's probably a coincidence.
Think so?
Yeah.
Nah, loves them.
All right.
Like there's this really amazing DN prospect. We should really look into him. He's not the Senior Bowl MVP.
Yeah, but what you were saying, I agree with. I almost hope I'm not gonna commit to this because I don't like the Giants, but I almost hope he pans out just for his sake.
Yeah.
I feel bad for him. He's gonna get ripped on from day one, and it's not his fault at all that some David Gettleman reached on him. So I wish him the best.
You know what's funny? I was saying that guy Edoga, the Jets drafted the lineman. I said he's probably going to back up Beecham, and his on his draft profile on NFL.com, his NFL comparison, Kelvin Beecham.
Really?
So
is that a good thing? Beecham is not. He's not terrible. He's not great.
No, he's like not. Yeah, if Beecham's your worst lineman, you're doing pretty well.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like he gets more hate than he deserves, just because the interior has been so bad that it's kind of hard for
the Jets' offensive line just has a terrible reputation.
Yeah, no one. You can't just stand out on your own, really, on the O-line. Look at this.
That's good.
Make an appearance. You're on camera.
What's up, guys? Big fan.
Thank you.
You just missed all the Giants talk.
Yeah.
Really?
Good
Yeah.
you were able to keep it rational before you got it.
But yeah, that's pretty much it with the draft so far. We only touch on the Jets and Giants just because they're the hometown teams. Kyler Murray went number 1.
I could talk all day about how stupid the fucking Cardinals
Yeah,
are.
Kyler Murray went number 1, like
Unbelievable.
everyone was saying. Bosa went 2 to the Niners. Quinn Williams 3. Josh Allen fell to the Jaguars. That was pretty
Oliver
surprising.
Jaguars had a
Oliver
sick
fell.
draft, dude. They got Josh Allen and Jawan Taylor.
Yeah.
I was mocking Jawan Taylor to them at number 7.
first round,
and they got him and
Didn't
Josh
I have
Allen.
them getting him
Yeah.
in our mock at 7?
Yeah, you did.
Metcalf, I had him on the Seahawks at 21, but he
No
ended up
credit.
going there at.
Don't pat yourself on the back for that.
I was just gonna say he did
No
go there.
credit.
He also nailed
credit.
Jonah Williams.
Oh, I got Jonah Williams to the Bengals because Andy Dalton's gonna break out in year 10.
They just drafted Ryan Finley.
Yeah.
So the clock's ticking.
He's not gonna do shit.
Ryan
Finley.
since we're still on the draft, we did get a question about the draft.
Yeah, if there's any questions about the draft, throw them in now.
Yeah, from Stempler. Winners and losers of the draft. I didn't follow it that closely, so you guys can probably speak to this more.
A player that's a winner.
Matt just said the Jaguars, so
Yeah, they're a big
count
winner
that-
for me.
Count that as one.
The Jaguars are a winner.
Anything you guys have seen out there?
I liked what the Redskins did a lot.
Yeah,
They had
a great
Haskins.
draft.
They were talking about trading up for Haskins. They had him fall right into his lap.
and then they got Sweat.
Then they traded up for Montez Sweat, who only fell because he has a heart condition, but they said it was very minor. And if he's able to be the player a lot of people think he's going to be, then that's a great value pick at that position.
That's super interesting because suppose I was reading reports that Dan Snyder kind of took control of this draft, and he's one of the most
Yeah, I saw
scrutinized
that too.
owners in all of sports.
They also, so that's big, and we'll see how it plays out. But on paper, it looks really good right now. Then they picked a receiver, Terry.
He went to school with
McLaurin?
Haskins, right?
Yeah, they both were from Ohio State. They definitely need receivers, so that could be a good filling a need there. And then Bryce Love, who was a Heisman candidate in college every year, kind of fell off this past season, but it's
What
a low
position
risk.
does he play?
He's a running back from Stanford.
A winner,
really
I'll
low
say.
risk.
Former head coach of the Jets, Todd Bowles. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have only selected defensive players, not a single offensive player. So he's got a lot to play with. So I guess you can call him a winner.
And
I
it's
didn't
not
really
like,
love
it's not
any
like
of
their
these
offense.
picks, though.
Yeah,
they did have a good
aside from
offense,
Devin
actually.
White.
Yeah, with Fitz. Even when Winston stepped in, he was putting up a lot of yards.
He
at
needs help. Like, he can't do it on his own.
Mm-hmm. What do you think of Oakland? They made a lot of head scratchers. That picture of that guy is so funny.
I like
when he's
we talked about in our mock. We talked about Jacobs going to Oakland, and it ended up happening.
Yeah.
I like that pick.
yeah, that was a good pick for them. People are like, we traded Mac for a running back. That's not what it is. Like, come on, they got more than just that for Mac.
Yeah.
They have another first rounder next year from it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and I think the Raiders actually had a really good draft, specifically in the first round. They took Jonathan Abram, the safety, at their last pick, who I think was really good. I think he was one of the top safeties in the class. A lot of people were questioning their Cleveland Farrell pick at number 4, but, I mean, who knows? Who's to say that Farrell won't be better than Allen? Why not?
And he was, even in early mocks, he was going top 10, top 5 in a lot of them.
Yep,
Yeah.
he was
So
he was
then
kind of all over the place.
What happens is people put up numbers at the combine, and then that's the end all be all.
Yep.
All of a sudden, if
Yeah.
you ran a 4.5 instead of a 4.55, your stock goes up 10 spots. Like,
he was the third best. He was ranked the third best edge rusher on the board, so they decided that they liked him more than Josh Allen.
Mhm.
That's
And
fine.
if
he's
he's
probably
good,
more refined.
yeah, he's a senior. He played 4 years at Clemson, won 2 championships. He's like a real good locker room guy. If that's the culture that they need to build in Oakland, then fine, start with him.
Yeah. Going back to what you were saying about the combine and all that stuff, I was listening to it was either Schefter or McShay talking about it today, and they were just saying, like, it's crazy how much weight these teams put into the combine and stuff, because these players are going from city to city, visiting teams, having dinner with teams, having meetings with teams, and then, like, they get to the combine and they're like a little bit overweight, it's like, well, they're not like doing their usual workout regimen, and then they like teams will put a lot of stock in that, like, oh, he was a little bit overweight. It's like, you had this guy running across the country for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like, what do you expect? And at the end of the day, they were basically saying, like, what matters is the film, like what they did on the
That's
field.
what I'm saying about that guy Polite. I was watching a breakdown of him today. He's got it all. If the issue is really just his combine interviews, then like, I don't care.
Yeah.
If he's gonna put him on the field and he's gonna get after the quarterback, who cares?
Yeah. I hope that, like, I talk a lot about chips on your shoulder, and I think it's a good thing in some situations and it's a bad thing in others. I hope he plays with one.
Yeah, hopefully. And he's a boss. So, last thing about the draft I want Matt to talk about is love of his life, Drew Lock going to the Broncos.
Listen. I was actually surprised he fell. I think it's great for Denver. People, like, I knew that Denver was interested in him, and they might have taken him at 10, but they were able to make 2 picks before and then still get Locke with their third pick in the
that's
second
crazy.
round. So that's a home run for them. And I don't know, did any of you see the interviews of him after he got drafted?
No.
He seems like he's got such a good head on his shoulders.
Yeah, he
He
does.
seems like a very like professional, like understands the situation that he's in right now, like having a backup Flacco.
Yeah.
And I like I said, I think he's going to be good. Obviously, it sucks that he's in Denver now. I'm going to have to actively root against him. But I think that that's a great pick for the Broncos. Being able to get, they got an offensive lineman and they got a tight end, Dalton Risner, and then they got Noah Fant. So they're building that offense. Their defense is fine, and whenever Locke is ready to come in and play, I think that they're going to be in a lot better shape.
That lineman they say he can play like all over the line, which is really good.
Mm-hmm.
So NFL draft, we're in the late rounds now, so nobody really cares anymore. But
Did we get any other draft questions?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Let me double check. No. Oh, thoughts on the Patriots' first round pick from Chris Sogel?
He's going to be the best player ever.
Yeah, I think most people
He is
like
already
this
gonna be
pick.
good.
N'Keal Harry, wide receiver from Arizona State. Best receiver in the draft.
You think so?
Yeah.
And
He's
now
tall
on
too,
the
right?
Patriots.
Yeah, he's tall. Mo, do you know how tall he is?
Who?
N'Keal Harry?
6'2".
Oh.
6'2".
Midget.
Best receiver in the draft.
Yeah, he's got unreal hands.
Yeah,
We
it's
saw a couple highlights
that
when he
was-
got drafted.
when
making
they were just showing
ridiculous
his highlights,
plays.
and I was just like,
Yeah.
and now he's going to be under the tutelage of Demaryius Thomas.
oh, he's on the Pats.
Yeah.
And Edelman.
Yep. Some experienced guys over
If
there.
only he had someone to throw him the ball. All right.
Yep.
You guys
No,
want to
Matt's
move
on
on?
that train.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the NBA
this-
playoffs.
NBA playoffs.
You don't want to talk about the NBA playoffs?
I think we should get down to business here with our
These
centerpiece.
Oh,
These beers
the
here.
beers.
So
in
we
the
got a
center.
question from Lindsay. One of the best questions we've gotten so far.
Yes, thank you, Lindsay.
Thank you, Lindsay. Who can chug a beer the fastest? So I think we're just gonna settle this.
I'd rather
Right now.
demonstrate the answer rather than just tell you guys that it's me. So let's just get right down to it.
Confident.
Give you guys visuals.
I'll tell you, it's not gonna be me. So these guys can chug beers fast. I'm
used
past
to
my
have it in
prime.
you.
Yeah.
And then you put on the glasses and
Feel
became
free,
a
feel free to
Poindexter.
pour them, Rich, if you want.
All right, let's get this going.
Ooh, nice and cold.
Oh, they are cold, which means my throat is gonna burn.
Is it that cold? They've been sitting there.
Yeah.
I have 5s on Matt.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
are we doing just straight chugging
Cheers-
down?
Cheers and
All right,
break.
let's
Sitting?
do it,
Gotta
Mike.
Sit and do it.
Yeah, we'll sit.
I'm gonna move the mic over.
Yeah, move
Matt,
the
I
mic.
have money on you.
How much?
$5.
I got 5 on Rich.
5 on me.
Spencer has 5 on Al.
Yo, Bill.
Camera
There'll
guy
be no
Bill has
money
5 on
exchange
Rich.
knowing
I
these
got
guys.
5 on
So
Matt.
we'll go 250 each.
Who's getting the money?
Alex, no one.
Who
no
gets the money? Like, where is it?
What do you
Like,
mean?
Oh, you're throwing it in a pool? Okay, I get it.
Whoever wins gets some money.
Shut up.
How do you win? What if multiple people pick the same person?
No, I'm picking Matt.
I'm picking Rich. I'll take Alex.
You're gonna throw 5s. Slow mo 5s on Alex.
All right.
Yeah, you still owe me for mini golf, you
paying.
jackass.
I'll do a Venmo.
Are we doing cheers and go, or should we have corn?
Come
give it
on, Matt.
3, 2, 1.
No, just
No. Cheers and go.
You should count us off.
3, 2, 1, go.
And then just pick it 3, 2, 1, pick it up and go.
So, no,
On
3, 2,
go.
1, go.
On go.
Okay.
You guys pick up the
All right.
So
All
should our
right.
hands be like here.
I want judges too. I want
Hands
still
flat on the
judges.
table.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
yo, flat on the table. Accept that.
Be careful. Be careful with technology. You don't
Yes.
want to damage any
All right, let's do it.
spillage.
All right, so it's 3, 2, 1, go.
All right.
Let's see it.
You guys set? 3, 2, 1, go. Dub. I just dubbed.
Wow, you suck.
Let's go. That's 5s to Michael. 5s to me, yeah.
Done.
Wow.
Wow, Matt. That's a. You know what, Matt? That's a good job.
Didn't think I had it in me still.
Wow.
Embarrassment.
Wow, been a while since college.
Richard embarrassed himself
I
on
did.
camera.
I did.
Thank you.
Round 2. Rematch. Double or nothing.
Later on.
Double or
in the
nothing.
I proved myself.
No, damn way. You
over.
over me 5.
Okay. It just started foaming in my mouth, and I was like, oh.
Matt, that was clean too.
Yeah, now I've got shit all over me, but
All right. Yeah. So do I.
wiping my face.
Richard has beer dangling from his ear.
On my face. Yeah.
Wow, Richard dead last.
Yeah. That's bad.
Thank you for that, Lindsay. We all
It's a
learned a
little
lot
hard
about Richard
sitting
today.
down
now.
too.
Yeah.
right?
That's why I was like, are we sitting? I
down?
wanted to stand. Yeah.
Oh, that's hard.
I don't want to hear the excuses.
All right. We're all just sitting here.
Yeah.
So. The Sixers are playing the Raptors, and
All right, that was fun.
This-
Should do that more often.
we should
Yeah.
every week.
I mean, we do
And
have
every
another.
week-
We have another competition-based question,
Oh yeah.
and we can bring the rest of the crew into this one.
Oh shit.
Who's the worst basketball player out of all of us? From Steven Spiegel.
All right, we're gonna
Guys, coming
count.
with the
I'm gonna
great
say 3.
fighting questions today, guys.
Including the crew because it's obvious.
No, not. We're
You're
gonna.
better than
No,
Kornfeld.
I'm saying your guys' opinions.
We're gonna
should be-
do.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it on based on us 3. I'm gonna count down
Wait,
3,
who's
2,
the
1, and
worst?
Who's the
everyone's gonna
worst?
say
You three?
their pick.
Yeah.
All right.
Out of the three of us,
Yeah, I'm gonna count down 3, 2, 1, and
I'll say
everyone's
we're-
got to say who they think is the worst of us 3.
that's
Ready?
I won't be mad if you.
I'm
pick
not gonna
me.
be
We're all
included in
pretty
this. You three
solid.
do it.
at the
I'm
score.
gonna say my pick.
No.
No, Kornfeld's
No.
Kornfeld's off screen, so he's not included.
And I'm
All right.
too good, obviously.
We have to say names too.
All right.
3, 2, 1.
Matt.
Did Matt just get the?
I don't know what to do with the
All right.
I heard Villani with an Alex. Looking
Matt,
looking at
you-
me dead in the eye.
Matt used to be lethal.
Listen. Listen.
You ever see my running jump shot?
Oh my goodness.
The disrespect in this room right now. I'm very, very disappointed in each and every one of you.
Everyone said that.
Matt, you said you.
Yeah, you said you.
I just remember I never
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying I'm disappointed.
Matt.
That was the best, honestly.
You want me to drink a
no.
beer? I'll do that. You want me to hit a jumper? We're gonna have a different
Matt
conversation.
used to be lethal. He had the effort, grabbing boards under the basket. Then he found Bud Light.
No. Playing against Matt is tough. He's long, blocks me a lot.
All right, now you guys are gonna all hype me
can't
up now
believe
after what you
this.
just did.
All right,
Suffers from fatigue.
just gonna get it out of the way.
What?
I'm easily the best one.
Don't be sorry.
Pounds overweight.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who? That's another good question. Who's the best? It's clearly Richard.
Yeah, I'm the best. Obviously,
Not like me.
I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna hide it. I'll dog all of you.
Did
I'll
anybody
hide it for
say?
you.
Did anybody say anybody else?
Nope.
No.
No.
Kalani
one.
said
Vinny,
Alex.
did you answer?
NBA player.
Thank you.
NBA player comp?
Thank you.
An
NBA player
An
comp?
on-the-spot question?
Blake Griffin. I'm
And
Blake
somebody else got to
You're
do it.
Blake Griffin?
I'm Blake
You're
Griffin.
Tyler
No.
Zeller.
No,
This
you're not.
Richard
You're
is-
like,
Okay.
I'm LeBron.
Richard's Blake Griffin.
Okay. Kids
No.
are terrified of the paint.
So is Blake
Well,
Griffin.
no.
Shoots 7 threes a
I'm
game.
obviously not LeBron. I'm Durant. No.
You're
I was
Blake
taking
Griffin.
it to the rack the other night when we were playing in pitch
Alex
black.
is more
Blake
Tim
Griffin.
Duncan than Tim Duncan is.
Yes.
He is the definition of Tim Duncan.
Yeah.
Tim Duncan
I
is
heard the
Alex
Herb.
Masatos.
Richard's like Bledsoe.
What? Why am I Bledsoe?
So
You heard me.
I'm Tim.
Richard's-
I'm Tim Duncan.
Richard's-
I'm Tim Duncan. Richard's Eric Bledsoe, but Richard's better than me.
Richard
Oh,
is
well-
Kent Bazemore.
Richard's Dennis
we're
Schroeder.
gonna talk stars. You're like Wade, Richard. I don't
Wade?
Got,
Oh, I'll be
Nah.
Wade. I hit more threes than Wade.
yeah, you're
Blake
you're better.
Griffin.
You're better.
Yeah, you hit more threes than Wade.
In comparison to Wade in the NBA and me at Grint.
Yeah,
Grint.
he's better.
He's
at
too
shooting.
small for Blake Griffin, but similar play styles.
All right. I think
Athletic, good.
Not at all.
good
I'm
three-pointers.
Gordon Hayward his last
the-
year on the
He definitely
Jazz.
a two
The
guard.
new age Blake
Think
Griffin.
I'm a two guard?
Or
You don't think I'm a three?
Nah, he's a three.
I said I'm Gordon Hayward his best year on the Jazz. Nah, he's a better shooter though. Never mind.
You look like him too,
Yeah,
like Herb.
Does not look like Gordon Hayward at
I
all.
don't look like him.
Very similar.
What, we're
How?
white?
Yep.
That's pretty much it. You know who? All right. Tobias Harris
both
looks like
hideous.
LeBron.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
I
Look
don't
at his
agree with
face
that.
and their mouth, and if he had the beard like LeBron, they would be identical.
No. You know who?
No.
Who's the guy on the Nets with the Hollis Jefferson?
Hollis Jefferson.
Hollis Jefferson looks just like Dwight Howard. They're twins.
Looks nothing like Dwight
I'm
Howard.
telling you. I'll pull up a picture.
He just has
You don't
super
see the
broad
LeBron- you
shoulders.
don't
What's
see
his
the
first name?
You don't see
Rondé.
Rondé Hollis
LeBron
Jefferson.
in there. Look at that bottom.
Corona really has your waist.
No, not at all.
Let me see.
What about the nose and shit?
I don't see it.
He looks like on live TV. He looks like LeBron.
All right, he looks a little bit like.
I don't
like
have
the
my
king.
glasses on. I
You
can't
don't
really
s-
see.
come on.
Slightly. LeBron's better looking.
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah. Let me. Oh, look here. He looks like LeBron.
He looks a little like Dwight
yeah,
Howard.
he does
the
look
mouth.
like. He looks. He looks
Alex
like.
is
looks
backing
like
up
him,
his
right?
claims.
Doesn't he look like him?
No.
Like in the mouth
Yes,
area.
he does.
I
Yes,
see
he
the
does.
mouth area.
Yeah.
He doesn't like.
They have
look
like that-
him, though.
You know.
Yeah, I know what you
They
mean.
look. He looks like he's complaining.
Next
there.
question.
Yeah.
All right. Next
Let's
question.
move it along.
All right.
Get as far away from the chug
Thank you,
as
Steve.
possible.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you, Steve.
On the topic of LeBron, we got a question from Chris Portrait.
Thanks, Chris. Portrait.
Who's next
that?
when LeBron
He's
retires?
just a follower on Instagram.
Oh, I like that question.
What was it?
Who's next when LeBron retires?
Well-
next in what?
In the interview when LeBron, they were asking about going to the Lakers. They said, "What do you think of Brandon Ingram?" And he said, "I think he's next."
He said that
I swear to God, he probably doesn't think that.
when
but
he was on the Lakers or before
yeah,
he was on the Lakers?
it was when they were like, "What do you think of Lonzo Ball?" He's like, "I think he's destined for greatness."
He was
Brandon
on the
Ingram.
Lakers when he
He
said
was
this.
on the Lakers.
Then it doesn't matter.
I know it was a joke, but
It's
it's pretty
very
funny that he
vague.
would say he's next.
It's Giannis.
That's how you describe someone.
It's
Lonzo's
Giannis.
What?
Face of the NBA.
Yeah, Lonzo's the face of the NBA. That's not a. I'm not even getting into it.
Fresh
Yeah, we-
Prince
we
is
can't
next.
get into
If
it.
Lonzo Ball was good in the NBA, he would be so popular.
Yes.
He's
Water
already
is also
mad
wet.
famous.
All right.
D-
Can we
yeah.
not get into this?
All right,
Like,
whatever.
that's a fact. Nobody's that.
I think it's
nobody's-
Giannis.
Whoa, that's the best player in the NFL right there.
Ben Simmons.
I think
So
it's
that-
Giannis that he's not controversial at all. He's like a baby face.
Good looking guy.
He's obviously amazing. It seems like they want him to be the face. He's like getting all these endorsement deals and
He's gonna
probably
be,
going to win MVP.
He's gonna be the best for sure when LeBron's gone. He might be the best right now. But if we're talking next face or just who's
KD.
next, like
I think it
dominate.
means like who's the next face of the league. Which, yeah, I think it's Giannis.
yeah,
KD's
or,
too hated.
Hezonja.
He's also kind of old, KD now too.
He's 30, right? 31.
Steph is too hated. Harden is.
By
too
the time
criticized.
LeBron's out of the league, though, those guys will be kind of old too.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Ben Simmons.
It will not be Simmons until
Ben's-
he can hit a shot more than 10 feet away from the basket.
A lot of people don't like Simmons.
Yes, people already don't
Including
like him.
myself.
From
A lot of
the-
people don't like
He'll
LeBron.
never be the face.
A lot of people don't like LeBron.
He doesn't
not
have
the
the
same.
he doesn't have the
Of course it
charisma.
is. He's the most hated.
He doesn't have the
LeBron is probably the
charisma.
most hated player in the league.
No.
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 If you polled fans,
easily.
KD.
KD easily.
no, not Embiid, the most hated player in the league.
KD is by far.
Probably LeBron. If you were to poll
No.
fans, I bet you
Simmons-
it's
people
LeBron.
already don't like
really a
Simmons.
lot. He's loved LeBron.
But
Yeah,
Simmons
people don't hate him.
But Simmons is not nearly as good
LeBron
as
probably has the
dominant
most
as LeBron
haters
is.
because he's just the most famous.
Yeah, it's
so
not
there's
because
more.
he does anything
Yeah.
that's actually annoying.
Okay, I'm not saying he
Now-
does
maybe
anything.
now.
I'm not saying it's warranted hate, but he has the most haters.
But
And that doesn't make sense. It's not like people know LeBron and not know Kevin Durant.
It's possible.
No,
Simmons'
If you
hate
hate
comes from his
LeBron,
personality.
if you have,
If you have,
strong
all right, if you
enough
know
opinion
enough to hate LeBron, then you know
Kevin
Durant. Yeah. No,
I think it's Giannis.
I would say Giannis right now, just because he's honestly kind of even similar to LeBron's.
I
Yeah,
think
plays.
people hating you elevates you to the.
No one hates me.
Like,
Yeah, but
closer
it's-
to
but
being
it-
the face of the NBA.
But
It's-
people
you're
don't hate
polarizing.
Simmons because he's great. They hate him because he's like who he is.
Not
doesn't
arrogant. I don't want to say arrogant, but he
He
kind
is
of
kind of
He
arrogant.
has like a
You didn't hate LeBron because he isn't great.
What do you mean?
It has nothing to do. The reason that you hate someone has nothing to do with it.
But it does.
You hated LeBron because
LeBron
you
is
thought
the
he
face
was-
of the league because of how great he is.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
And Simmons is not as great as him.
he was yeah.
Obviously, we're
already
saying
has-
who's going to be the next great player.
Is he going to be as great as LeBron?
No
ever?
one's going to be as great as LeBron, but
And
I'm
he's
saying
like before LeBron was ever like hated, like before he was this great, like he was pretty like universally rooted for. Like people aren't rooting for
Simmons
Simmons
has
to
more of
be
an
as
attitude.
great
He was
as
rooted
LeBron
until
is.
he went to the Heat.
that
He
matters.
went to the Heat. Then people were like, "Oh, he's the villain, whatever." And then he went back to the Cavs and won. And
He was
it's
so
sort of
much cooler on the Heat.
yes,
He's
he
just
was. It
extremely
was sick when he was
polarizing.
the villain.
I don't think that there's going to be one particular face like there is LeBron.
There is a lot of
There's
young
so much
talent.
star power in
Yeah.
like, the young players that it's just certain guys will fill like.
You got
Unless Giannis becomes that
Embiid,
good.
Giannis.
If Giannis rattles off like a championship here and there, then
Yeah,
he might be that. He might be the next LeBron.
Yes.
They can use it to his advantage though, and I think he'll grow
think,
into that
like,
once he
make it
gets
like
used to
a-
like the spotlight.
He's definitely got the skill. He's like
Is he
25.
24, 25?
Yeah, I want to say 25 now. If he's less than 25, I'm
I think
leaving.
he's 25.
Okay. So Giannis, are we agreeing on Giannis?
I think it's Giannis. He thinks it's Simmons. Me and you think it's Giannis.
Simmons, come on.
Fresh Prince.
That's
You really
annoying
think it's
as
Simmons?
It
He's
is.
24.
It's annoying that his nickname is the Fresh Prince.
He's
I
24.
think it's annoying that the Greek Freak is his nickname. That's just you just thinking that.
I think a lot of people don't like him though.
That's fine. Not because he's named the Fresh Prince.
He's annoying.
It could be
Fresh
called
Prince.
any nickname that he ever had. You don't like him, you would hate it.
No, Fresh Prince.
I don't
is
care
like
that he's
a
called the
hateable
Fresh
nickname.
Prince.
It
But
doesn't matter that he's called. No one should ever hate that.
no, I don't
I-
care.
I
I just
like-
don't think he'll
I
be the
like
fit.
the
I don't think he
nickname.
has.
He's from Philly.
I
Yeah.
just don't think he has
Is he
the.
from Philly?
No, he's from
Oh,
Australia.
All right, that's
like
But he's on the Sixers.
He doesn't. He seems like he like when he's like talking to the media and stuff. He's just like always salty.
yeah.
Like, I've never
He's one
seen
of those chip on your shoulder, like
Yeah.
annoying.
He's like Westbrook,
Big advocate.
but less.
Come on. He gets asked some dumb shit. That
Yeah,
has to
but then
do
they're
with
like,
Jared
what do you
Dudley
think-
coming at him? What does he knock? He's not allowed to get angry.
Like they're like, who do you think should win Rookie of the Year? Like same as last year, the better player. Like you really have to bring up that you won Rookie of the Year. Shut
Yes.
up. No one cares. Just say, oh, I think it should be Luka. Not it should be Luka because just like last year, the better player won it. Like fuck you.
Yeah.
Get over it. You
Wants to
won
let
it.
you
Move
know.
chip on
on.
your shoulder.
Wants to let you know.
That's
Sure, it's
me
annoying.
know
to
what.
that's when the
people
chip
that,
on your shoulder
that are
becomes
saying
annoying.
he shouldn't have won it because he wasn't a real rookie. Sure,
I
that's
don't-
Like, we
okay,
get
I
it.
don't
You're
agree
good.
that he shouldn't have
you
won
don't
it.
need to. You don't need to like say how good you are. Like we know.
He's not even.
It's a bad argument.
Whatever. All right. Next question.
I don't need to argue why I don't like him. Just don't like him.
All right. Next question.
I'm trying
Matt's getting ready to swing on you. See it in his eyes.
Hey, if he wins something, then
Giannis doesn't even like Greece, okay?
He
We love
did
this
say
guy.
that.
no, that's not what he said.
He said Greece should not be a country.
I don't like Giannis because he's Greek.
Okay. Yeah, you don't like Giannis because he's Greek.
There aren't any other reasons to like him. He's the best player in the NBA.
Whoa.
All right. From Igal, do the Islanders have a chance to win the Stanley Cup?
What do you think, Rich?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the best.
I
No.
love the Islanders. I watched every game this season.
They lost last night.
In overtime.
That's
Corn,
all-
you
that's
watched
as much as I know.
Shlomo's
Corn,
a
give us-
lie detector.
Give us a little insight.
You know, both teams looked real good. Pretty evenly matched series. They lost a heartbreaker. Both goalies played
Did I
great.
hit that?
What do you think?
Love Simmons.
What player do you want to see on Carolina really stand out this year? This series.
Who's that
Who
one
would-
guy?
I don't know anyone on the team.
Really?
You're really that out of touch with hockey?
Yeah.
I thought you were because the Rangers are bad. You don't
Yeah.
care.
I haven't watched
How
anything.
old is Barzell?
If they were good, would you be very into it?
He's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
for-
how into the Rangers are you?
I follow them. I honestly I didn't follow them that much this year. I
They were
like it when
bad,
they're
right?
good.
So like, it's not like if the Chargers were bad, you'd still be up.
Yeah,
the gate.
yeah, absolutely.
I'm definitely
Absolutely.
a fair weather Islander fan.
I'm just not a. I couldn't name a player. Barzal.
I know a few players on the Islanders, and I like hockey. Like it's fun to watch, but I
Yigal also
won't get
wrote
invested
on
in
my story. Can you guys talk about the fucking Islanders? So now we're doing it, Yigal.
I think the East is wide open though, with Pittsburgh and Washington out. You have Boston, Columbus, Carolina, and the Islanders.
I think Columbus and Boston have the best. Oh, that doesn't make sense. Boston has one of the highest chances to win, right?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think Boston is gonna win the Stanley Cup. I think they're the favorites in the East at least, and then in the West, who knows? I don't know.
God forbid a non-Boston team wins a championship.
That would
Ridiculous.
actually
Dude,
suck
that would
because it would
suck.
be football, baseball, basketball, hockey all in a row.
Michael
And
Jordan went to the
Celtics are still
Bengals.
alive.
Oh no,
Come on.
Celtics are still alive. They're not winning shit, but
In 7, they're gonna beat the Bucks.
Bucks in 7, I think.
it's actually crazy. You saw that for the NHL playoffs, all of the 1 seeds got knocked out in the first round.
Really?
All 4 of them.
That's so weird.
All 4 division
That is
winners
really
got
weird that
upset
that
by wild
happens.
cards.
That's the one thing about basketball. Like you'll never have like the really top teams get knocked off early.
It
Didn't
happened
that
that
happen
one
to the
time with the
Spurs?
Grizzlies and the Spurs.
Who was the top team?
The Spurs,
right?
Yeah, and I think the Grizzlies swept them.
They bitched them.
Yeah.
It might happen right now. The Spurs upsetting that's a 2 and a 7,
It's
right?
2 and
Yeah,
7,
but
yeah,
you know
be
we're
a pretty
talking
big
about
upset.
like star-studded
yeah.
teams.
Yeah, you're right.
Like the Lightning losing to Columbus.
Yeah,
That
was
was
like
a
one of the
monumental
biggest
upset.
upsets.
Didn't they get swept?
Yeah, they got swept. It was one of the biggest upsets
What
in
happened?
sports history.
They just stopped being good.
I have no idea. They were up 3-0 in game 1, blew that lead, and then got destroyed every game since.
That's crazy. All right. What else?
All right, we got a question.
That was
from our-
Columbus's first ever playoff series win.
Wow.
We got a question
But yes,
from our.
well, let's answer the question. The Islanders.
Do they have a chance? Yeah, I think they have a chance. They were one of the best teams
Yeah.
in the NHL, right?
Yeah, but I mean, they're not one of the best teams, but I think
But we've
Boston's
seen
gonna win.
anything can happen in hockey.
Hockey is the one sport where it literally does not matter what seed you are. If you're in the playoffs, you have a chance to win. So that's-
Baseball as well.
That's true.
Yeah, because baseball, you win one game and you're in this fucking World Series. The playoffs are so short.
So short, yeah.
Yeah.
They play every day. It's a 5-game series. Then you're in the championship series in your conference or your league, and then you're just in the World Series. So
Yeah.
There's only 2 rounds.
yeah, it's a 5-game series, a 7-game series,
the
and then
World
the World Series.
Yep.
Stupid.
Interesting.
Should just be
It
more.
is stupid.
No,
the
I
first
don't
round of
know
the
about that.
NBA should
I
be
like it.
5.
Yes.
Like I don't mind it.
What?
The way
No,
the way the MLB playoffs is fine. Because baseball, it's like it's not like every game is super intense.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
I don't
No,
know.
it wouldn't be.
I get both sides of it.
It wouldn't be fair to the really good teams to have to face like more teams
Why?
because
Everyone's
I'll
playing the
te-
same
I'll
amount of
tell you
teams.
why. Because baseball, like anything could happen in a given series. So if you added more teams, it would devalue the regular season and like what a great team did in the regular season.
I get that. I get that side of it.
I'm just saying. I
Can't
think
add one more round.
I think the first round should just be 7 games. They should all be 7 games.
I
If you're gonna have
agree with
3
that.
rounds,
Okay, yeah,
make them all 7.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's yeah. So since they only have 2 rounds before the World Series, then both rounds should be 7. But the NBA, since there's
I also
3
think-
rounds and then the championship, it should be 5, 7,
Yes.
7.
Yeah.
It used to
The
be
NBA
5.
First round
playoffs is
sucked.
so
Yeah.
long.
The first
What?
round was bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
All of the East teams just destroyed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you had the
The only good
Rockets
series
wasn't
is
competitive.
the
It's Nuggets
Nuggets
Spurs is
Spurs.
the only good series. Portland Thunder was a big
It
disappointment.
was entertaining though.
It was entertaining.
Yeah, but you mean 5 games? It's like it's shitty.
It was fun to watch just because of Dame and McCollum, and yeah, it was just it was an entertaining series overall. Like it was fun to watch.
It wasn't competitive.
All right, moving on. Will Cam Newton make it to the Super Bowl before his career ends? Nick Grunwald make it back to the Super Bowl because he played in one already.
All right. Nick, big Panthers fan.
Big Panthers fan. I think he will. He's super talented. The Panthers always seem to. I mean, they didn't make the playoffs last year, but they're always hanging around.
They
there,
started off really well.
Yeah,
and
they
then
started 6-2.
Fucking didn't they finish 6-10?
Did they? No way.
I don't think that they were 6-2.
They were
5-2, I think it was.
I saw it on ESPN. It started 6-2.
And then he hurt
Could've
his
been
shoulder
wrong.
though. He couldn't throw the ball.
Right. He's super talented. He's their franchise quarterback. They have like stability at head coach with Rivera. They always seem to be hanging around the playoff hunt.
If he's healthy this year, then they have a good team this year.
Yeah.
McCaffrey another year. He's filthy.
Yeah,
McCaffrey's
McCaffrey's
really
unreal.
Think he's a
Deontay
first round pick in
Thompson.
fantasy?
Yeah, absolutely. He was one of the best fantasy players last year on my runner-up squad.
You had him, right?
Yeah.
I
think he'll play in one more.
Yeah, I think you get to one more. How old is he?
Kyler
30 now? Almost 30?
Let me fact check.
How long do you think he lasts? I mean,
Really?
his game
He's
is
29 years old.
his game is
Turning
obviously
30 in like 2 weeks.
based a lot on running,
Yeah.
and he gets hit a lot. He gets injured a lot. Like, what happens when he's older? Is he just gonna have to try and sling it?
He's gotta become more of a pocket passer. I guess like the big knock on his game is his accuracy down the field, and you want to see him develop that. But I don't put it past him. He's one of those guys that seems to be like a super hard worker,
Yeah, he's-
super committed to winning. So
The Panthers just drafted Will Greer. So
that was interesting.
I think
Why'd
Cam's
they do
days
that?
are numbered
Really?
because of his health. I
Possibly.
think his shoulder is in bad shape. I don't think he'll make it back to the Super Bowl. I'm sorry, Nick. I think
His
that it
shoulder's
just
really that bad?
comes to get to the Super Bowl. First of all, I wouldn't predict any quarterback to get to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I think there's so many things have to go right to be able to get to the Super Bowl. So it takes like a perfect storm and like a really good team, like we saw with the Panthers when they were 15-1. They've never been the same team since. You know, Cam was MVP that year. He hasn't really been able to live up to that season. It's been declining, whether it's health or whether it's just him, not being able to replicate that year. But I don't see them really turning anything around anytime soon in like a stacked NFC. I don't see it happening.
Hey, they
Yeah.
have talent themselves.
You make
The
good
only time he
points.
threw for 4,000 yards was his rookie year, which is interesting.
Interesting.
Panthers fans should be happy though. They drafted Brian Burns. He's going to be great.
He's going to be good. I don't think drafting Will Greer means anything. Those guys always like those
Mid-round
great in
picks.
college, like Kellen Moore, the guys like that were like great in college and not going to do shit in the NFL. They just drafted.
They're not comparable at all. Will Greer's way better than Kellen Moore.
I'm just saying those like mid-round, like they had
And
production
Greer,
in college.
Greer wasn't like, I mean, he was very good in college, but he wasn't like Kellen Moore, like breaking records.
Yeah.
And stuff.
So
I'm
what?
backing your point up.
Yeah, I don't think that they're. I don't think that.
But,
Well,
but aren't you saying Kellen Moore was better?
in college, but that doesn't mean anything. Greer's
Okay,
a better prospect.
That's what they're basing it on.
There was that
So
guy.
who's
Remember that
basing it on?
quarterback from
You're
Hawaii?
getting drafted based on your college production, is it not?
Mo, you remember
I
that
think it's based on
quarterback from
just
Hawaii?
stats.
No, but like
From the University.
obviously there's other intangibles.
There was a quarterback from that played for Hawaii that was like breaking all these records. It was like probably 10 years ago now, and he was like one of those guys that was just like breaking records all over, and it was just like the style of play. Like he
Mhm.
wasn't actually like a pro
yeah,
QB.
exactly.
Yeah, I don't think Will Greer is like that at all.
Yeah, I don't
think,
either.
I
I think he's like a real
don't
NFL
think
caliber
they're-
quarterback. I think he slipped a little bit too. He
When
coulda-
they get him, the second round,
Third
third
round.
round?
Fourth, I thought.
No, the
no,
fourth
third
was
third
today.
round.
Good.
He can play.
I don't see him ever taking over for Cam. That's just my opinion, though.
All right, that's it for the sports questions. We got some TV questions, some movie questions, some music questions.
Let's
And we
hear
got
'em.
one from Memo host himself, Michael Kornfeld.
Did we?
Yeah, we did. Playboy Cardi or Lil Uzi Vert?
Oof.
Cardi easily.
The duo is great, though.
Yeah, they do have
I'll
great
take Cardi.
chemistry. Cardi,
Uzi Vert
Amazing.
kind of creeps me out a little bit.
his satanic shit.
Just like he's just like mad weird on videos and shit.
Yeah, he
I don't like the
seems
way
a
he talks.
Troubled person.
Everyone likes that video. Like, I don't know, I just got here yesterday. Whatever it is.
He's got charisma.
It's cute.
There's that one. He's like singing into the camera. He's weird.
What do you guys think?
Love is
take
Rage
Cardi.
2 is the greatest album the past decade.
I like him. His music.
So I think that Uzi Vert,
Both
I'd
of-
rather listen to Uzi Vert any day of the week.
Both-
Cardi doesn't say words.
I would rather listen to both of them in the same song.
Both of Cardi's albums are better than Love Is Rage 2, I think.
I don't agree with that. Every song on Love is Rage 2 is a banger.
Every time Cardi features in a song, it's just him in the background, like
He just ad-libs.
Yeah, he's an ad-lib rapper, but he's great at it. He makes great music.
I like Cardi. I like listening to his songs.
Does
I
Lil
can't listen
Uzi
to a
Vert
full
have a
album
song
of
like
that.
New Choppa? No. That's
That's
the best
basically
song.
Rocky's song.
It is.
EXO Tour Life.
I think
Oh,
Die
great
Lit
song.
is better than any Uzi album, but I prefer Uzi, like, to listen to on the regular.
Interesting.
I don't really
Yeah.
have an opinion much on either of them, honestly.
I just love the production that Cardi goes over. He's you say what you want about his rapping. I mean, technically it's not great, but the music's interesting. I love to listen to it.
I can't listen to too much of him at a time because it gets very repetitive with his just ad libs and like 1-2 word lines.
You got to listen to the song Almeida.
I think they're both great, honestly.
Yeah, they're both very
really
good.
I like Cardi. I'm not trying to like hate on Cardi. Prefer Uzi Vert.
All right. Big question here.
Free Uzi.
Game of Thrones question. Spoiler alert.
Oh,
Yeah, spoiler alert. Spoil. Tune out if you didn't watch an
So,
episode.
We got season
Don't
8.
get mad at us.
Season 8. We're in the middle of season 8 right now. Episode 3 coming up. The Battle of Winterfell. The White Walkers are finally descending upon Westeros.
Oh, yeah.
So we got a question from Julian, Matt's friend Julian. Who we got dying in episode 3? I got a
Ooh.
list.
Everyone but Samwell Tarly. No.
Fuck him.
Theon dead. Brienne dead. Grey Worm dead.
Dead.
Podrick maybe dead.
Jorah.
Jorah
Nah,
possibly dead.
I think Jorah will make it out.
I don't. People say he's not going to die because they think he's going to die protecting Daenerys, but I don't agree with that because he already had his whole
He could
redemption.
protect her this battle, though.
Nah, she's got a dragon.
And
She's
he's
fine.
also like right dead center in the
Yeah,
formation.
I think his like arc with Daenerys and redeeming himself with her is already done. Like he already did all that. So now I've been seeing a lot of stuff. People saying he's gonna like sacrifice himself for the young girl Mormont. What's her name? Leon something Mormont. I forgot her name.
Yes.
But they think it's to like wrap up like him getting accepted back
Yeah.
into his house. Like he's gonna.
They definitely did set that up in episode 2 when they have that little
Yeah.
interaction. I like that. That was one of my. It was one of the underrated parts of the last episode. I think
Yeah.
when they're talking and he's like, you can
Yeah.
see in her eyes like even though that he went against their family
Mhm.
name or whatever, like she still respects him.
She says, "I wish you good fortune, cousin."
Yeah.
And then
think another-
Samwell gives him the sword.
I think another
Yeah.
dragon's gonna die.
I'd give it another few
I think
episodes.
she might die.
Daenerys?
Lady Mormont.
Yeah, people say she might die. I don't think a dragon will die for another few episodes, just
And
because it just happened a
That's
few
something.
episodes ago.
That's what
Right.
Arthur Dane. That's what he says to Ned Stark
What?
before Arthur Dane. Ned Stark kills him.
Oh, I
He's
wish
like,
you good fortune in
good
the wars
fortune
to
in the
come.
wars to come.
That scene's sick.
That scene is so sick. I watched it like 10
That
times.
has the two swords.
Yeah,
It's a
and then they
boss.
They have
They
to kill someone
scheme him.
huge,
Scheme
though.
him, yeah. The sword just comes through his
Yeah.
neck.
What about the
Um,
Hound?
No, that he got to fight the mountain.
Right. He's
I
got to
think-
fight the
I
mountain.
think Gilly and Little Sam might be Dunzo.
You think Little
Oh,
Sam?
I heard about
Yeah.
that.
Because they're in the crypt.
Yeah.
Look, people are like,
Varys.
that probably is what's gonna happen. That they're like the crypt they're gonna raise. But like, if they're in the crypt, how long have they been there? They're probably just bones and disintegrated now.
And I think if like all the dead bodies in the crypt.
It's not like they have weapons either.
And they're in like stone.
Yeah.
They're in like stone, whatever you call it, caskets. So it's not like they can just raise and like break through stone. They don't have
Yeah.
like super
And
strength.
they were
like the
all-
White
but
Walkers do.
They were emphasizing how safe the crypt is, so you know
Yeah,
it's
that's
not
sus.
safe.
But
Yeah.
Yeah, they set up a lot of people just having like little moments last episode where Podrick has his song and Brienne gets knighted
Brienne
and
is so
Theon
dead. Yeah,
wants to
Brienne's-
protect Sansa. He comes through. He's saved his sister already. Like he's pretty much done with his whole thing. Grey Worm, we're gonna run away to the islands after this. No, you're not.
Yeah.
You're gonna die.
I think Baratheon, is it Renly Baratheon? I think he might be dead after,
Renly? Renly got
or is it
killed.
Gendry?
Gendry.
Oh,
You
Gendry.
Gendry, whatever.
think he'll die?
Yeah, I think it's between him and Arya, and I think Arya just has too much left to accomplish. So
He's gonna die, and then she's gonna have his son,
yeah, maybe.
the next
Interesting.
Baratheon.
That's a good point.
Yeah, a lot of deaths coming up though.
Yep.
You can
They're
basically
they're
confirm
gonna wipe
that.
out a good portion of our. It's gonna be a lot of supporting
Yeah,
characters.
yeah.
They're gonna save the big guns till the fight with Cersei probably. And if it's true that the Night King is flying to King's Landing, when they finally interact with him, more people will die.
Yeah. All right, another show. This question's from Matt Parolo. Thoughts on the upcoming Sopranos prequel?
I think
I haven't watched Sopranos, so you guys.
I haven't finished it. I'm almost done with the last season for 5 months now. I think it'll be cool. I mean, it's being made by David Chase, so he know it's not like being made by some random guy who doesn't have the,
Yeah.
you know.
I'll watch it. I'm sure it'll be fine,
Be-
but it's like a little just like obviously
Why?
given certain situations, it's like no, not why, but just like being that it's going to be different characters and
Mhm.
things like that. It's
They
hard to
cast
get like
his
too
son
excited
as
about.
young Tony. His son's
Yeah.
playing him, which is cool. That's probably
that-
cool for
that's
him,
what it
you know.
is?
Yeah,
It's Tony when he's young.
I don't think it's about him. It's
Yeah.
about like his dad and Junior. That'll be cool seeing Junior in his
and
prime.
Christopher's father.
Christopher's dad.
Tiki Moltisanti.
Yeah, but I think it'll be cool. That's probably a really cool moment for the son, though. He's like
for
playing
sure.
his dad's iconic character.
For sure,
And he looks a lot
I think
like
it'll
him.
be good.
Yeah,
A lot of
it's
pressure.
just like they're making a Breaking Bad movie too with Jesse.
Really?
All these shows coming back with movies.
I didn't know they're doing.
Yeah,
that.
they're doing Jesse like after he escapes, like what happened to him.
Really?
Interesting.
Mhm.
So it's after the.
Yeah, when he's driving away, he's hyped. He's probably gonna have a very shitty life. I'll tell you that. Yeah, but I'm excited for it. Corn, you don't have more. You talk about
He's
Sopranos
kind of
23 hours of the day.
Yeah, I'm a big Sopranos stan. I'm a little tentative about like making movies that like just let the.
Oh, it's a movie. It's not a show.
No, it's a movie.
What's the best episode?
I was reading that Jamie's character arc kind of is similar to what's his name in Breaking Bad, Jesse,
Jesse.
where he starts out as like the troubled, like not
Mm.
as like honorable person, and then like throughout the show
Yeah.
he kind of becomes the one you root
It's
for.
like reverse.
Yeah.
They start out as like the little asshole, and then they
Right.
become the
Yeah.
Exactly.
all through trauma and death and terrible circumstances.
Jamie's the coolest character in Thrones.
When he sees Bran, it's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. Should be good.
All right,
Gotta
last-
trust the creator of the show. He knows
yeah,
what he's doing.
I'm sure he'll make something good. Of Thrones.
Oh,
Yeah,
we're
I
talking
did-
about
Jumping
Sopranos.
3 different shows. We're just going.
Yeah.
We're really dancing around here.
I didn't love the last season of Game of Thrones, but this one has been good so far.
Thrones, Breaking
I
Bad,
love
Sopranos.
the reason I like this one so much is there's no like subplots that are like less interesting. There's just like the
It's just
one
all-
thing, and
mhm.
it's all good.
They
Like
could-
there's no wasted
Because
time.
it's now it's all affecting everyone.
Yeah.
There's no longer different like conflicts to handle.
Yep.
We have to fight the army of the dead.
Is that director the one who did like Hard Homeless?
Yep. I believe so.
It's gonna be
Yeah,
so
his name is
And
like
it's
Miguel
tomorrow.
Miguel something.
Wait, is that the one with the battle?
Yeah, and that cinematographer too, Fabian
Well,
Miguel Sapochnik.
supposedly they blew $93 million on this one episode.
Blue.
Yeah.
Blue 93 million.
Yeah, I don't.
He did
I'll
episodes
cry.
3. He did episodes 3 and 5.
I'm gonna weep.
He did episodes 3 and 5, and I bet those are the 2 battles.
Oh, I'll cry when Brienne dies.
Yeah, that'll
Yeah,
be
that'll
sad.
be
Jamie's gonna
sad.
witness it, and then he'll command her section of the army in
Mhm.
her honor.
That'd be sick.
He's already.
No, he's not. He's working under her right now.
Yeah, but he's still like front line.
He's not the fighter he used to be.
Yeah, I mean
He's
he's
not
got
the
one
golden
hand.
lion.
He's
Alright.
still a force to be reckoned with, though.
Yeah, he's a king.
I love him.
Yeah, I was rewatching the scene where him and Ned fight, and it's sick.
Yeah, it is sick. But then it's mad funny. The guy stabs
He
Ned.
punches
and
him in
fucking
the
knocks
face.
him out.
Yeah, it's sick. It's sick when Jamie stabs the guy in the eye, and he's just looking at Ned straight in the face, and he's
Oh
just
yeah.
like, "Motherfucker."
All right.
Next
All right,
question.
last question from Grayson Parker.
This is the last one.
Yeah, best Nickelodeon show.
All right. SpongeBob doesn't count
Definitely SpongeBob.
because SpongeBob's still going.
No question, Drake and Josh.
Oh, okay. We're doing that now. We're doing that.
Most overhyped
SpongeBob
show.
doesn't count.
Overhyped.
I mean, SpongeBob doesn't count.
SpongeBob's given like the legendary Nickelodeon. It still goes on.
Is the so then that's
That's
the answer.
crazy.
The
Though.
answer.
All right. The
Still-
answer's
Still
SpongeBob.
airs.
Animated though, I gotta say Jimmy Neutron.
Yeah. If we're going animated, yeah, Jimmy Neutron's great. I loved Fairly Odd Parents.
Cornfield, you were a big iCarly guy, right?
Oh, I liked iCarly.
iCarly.
I
That's not one of my favorites.
hated iCarly.
Say what you want about it.
I hated that show.
I didn't really watch it much.
Is Cat Dog Nickelodeon?
Oh, Cat Dog's fire.
No,
Cat
wait.
Dog was great.
What about
Is,
Hey Arnold? Hey Arnold.
Hey Arnold.
Classic.
Wait.
Hey,
Everybody,
Arnold.
can we reel this in a little?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
fucking crazy loud right now.
Yeah. Everyone, just
everyone
relax.
relax. We're not just naming every Nickelodeon show. What is the best one?
Rugrats.
I don't really know. I would say SpongeBob.
Drake
don't
and
like
Josh
Drake and
holds a
Josh.
special place in my heart.
I like Drake and Josh.
You don't like it?
I hate iCarly with a passion.
iCarly had his moments. Well,
Vinny was in the commercial or whatever.
Was
Hey
Ned's
Arnold is
Declassified
death fire.
Nickelodeon?
Declassified so funny.
Danny Phantom was a low key fire one.
Yeah, Ned's Declassified was very good too.
Funniest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was ahead of its time, honestly.
It holds its own still. If you
Yeah,
Ahead of its time.
Did anyone like Invader Zim?
no.
No.
Jared Zim.
Rugrats.
Chalk
was great.
Zone.
Rugrats is good,
Chalk Zone was lit.
but Ugly Martians.
I hated
Is that
Chalk
even
Zone.
I
Nickelodeon?
don't know. What else would it be?
I couldn't
Courage the
stand
Cowardly
Chalk
Dog
Zone.
was Cartoon Network.
Yeah,
right?
that's my favorite.
That's a king
But
show.
Ugly Martians.
And,
was
Kids
the name
Next
of
Door.
the show.
No, I know. Yeah, Cow and Chicken was great. That's the last question. Damn.
What was Cat Dog on?
There's got to be one.
Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon.
Goat.
Fire.
There's there's some other ones in
Alone in the
there.
World with a Little Cat Dog.
Wait, what was the one with the imaginary friends?
Foster's Home for Imaginary
That's
Friends.
Cartoon
That's
Network.
That was
Cartoon
Cartoon
Network.
Network.
Cartoon Network had like Kids Next Door, that
They're
show,
all trash.
Courage the Cowardly
Not all
Dog. I love those shows.
Scariest.
Courage.
Courage is scary.
That's
Courage was so
actually
scary.
petrifying.
Yeah, fuck Doug.
Oh, Doug? Of course I remember Doug.
Doug was annoying too. Some
you
of the
ever
shows
see
were
that?
So annoying.
Yeah, the bully was green, his best friend was blue, and he's white. He's a white kid. Weird.
Not entertaining. It was not hype.
The answer it is SpongeBob.
Yeah, SpongeBob Supreme. Got Mr. Krabs in there.
You know that meme about Doug, and it's like, Doug isn't bald because he has cancer or some other disease. He's
Whoa.
bald because he sucks.
Yeah.
Oh, Caillou.
That is funny.
I gotta find it.
That's some shit.
But yeah.
Oh, you know the remix to the
The
theme song?
Angry Beavers.
Oh, you know what you guys gotta do?
Look at the blonde one
Wait.
smirking.
Yo, this is the thing.
Yeah, he's so mad.
You know when you like type in, you know when you
Yeah, that's a
type in
good
on
idea.
Google, like, and it has that like little
That's a
box
good
of
idea.
like the first answer that leads you to an article or something, and it's like the little snippet from an article. So it's like that. Someone typed in, "Why does Caillou not have hair?" And it shows him, says Caillou can't grow hair, not because he has cancer or progeria, but because he sucks, and even his own body recognizes that he does not deserve hair or food or love.
Sounds
What?
mean.
Does your laptop have an HDMI port?
Yes.
All right.
that it?
That's it for the questions.
Huh.
That's another good
Really? I
one.
thought there were way more.
Wait, I sent a question to the message.
We got a last-second submission from.
There's
How much money do you anticipate
we
Avengers
could do a
to
couple more and then
make? Probably
15.
I know, but we
Am I missing some questions? I might be.
Trim some stuff.
probably 3 billion. No, we started
You're
recording
missing
for a
the
while before we
wingman
started.
question.
Yeah, we don't have an answer for that.
Oh, we should answer that.
I would be the worst wingman. I don't speak. The question was, who would be the worst wingman of us three? It would be me.
That was from.
Was it the worst or the
I
best?
think my
Oh,
friend,
who would be
that
the
was
best
from Nick-
wingman?
That was
Who's
from
the
Nick.
best
Nick
wingman?
Rumo as well.
Best
No,
wingman?
it was the worst. Nick asked.
I
who
would
was
be the worst.
wingman.
The worst wingman?
It would be Kornfeld.
You think so?
Yeah, I introduced Kornfeld to a girl once, and he starts shitting on my life
Yeah.
immediately.
Cornfeld's
So,
winged me a few times for
that was
sure.
rough.
I'm bad.
Remember, You
No.
remember that?
I think Cornfeld's up there.
Introduced you to my friend, and you start going off about how shitty I am. You're like, I don't know how you put up with this guy. Like, I know it's
Typical Cornfeld.
just right off the bat, he's just mocking me.
Oh, that's a funny story.
Yeah, it's a good wingman.
Can you tell it?
I just told it.
Can you tell it again?
No, it was SantaCon. We were at a bar, and I was talking to my friend, and then I introduced her to Kornfeld. And Kornfeld just started, what was the exact line? You were like all the
I don't know
time.
how
It
you
gets
put up with
worse
this
as
Yeah.
you get worse the more you know.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
you're like, you get worse the more you know him. Or like, it's
Yeah.
always something with this guy or something.
That's real nice. That's a way
Yeah,
to hype
so-
up your mans.
Yeah, so Kornfeld's the worst wingman.
See my port on your laptop?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why?
We could do like two-way channels. It's like, let me show you something on my computer. You change it.
Yeah.
We've had our
We can
moments,
talk about
though.
that after.
I'm getting this.
Are we done?
You know,
Yeah. I mean, we didn't answer the question.
a
It's
little close to
Kornfeld, I
home,
guess.
But it's all right. Yeah.
So
and
the
that's why he's off air, because he can't even wingman us on our own show. That's why we don't put his face on the cameras.
a lot
You
happened
can't even
in this
fake like we
episode.
get with girls.
No.
It's sad.
I have a girlfriend. I'm all good. I don't need a wingman. I'm soaking wet from chugging that beer. I just have been smelling beer. My pants are just wet.
Why?
'Cause it spilled all over my
think we should get down to business here with our
These
centerpiece.
beers.
Oh,
These beers
the
here.
beers.
So
in
we
the
got a
center.
question from Lindsay.
Yes, thank you, Lindsay.
Thank you, Lindsay. Who can chug a beer the fastest? So I think we're just gonna settle this.
I'd rather
Right now.
demonstrate the answer rather than just tell you guys that it's me. So let's just get right down to it.
Nice and cold.
Oh, they are cold, which means my throat is gonna burn.
All right, let's do it.
All right, so it's 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. You guys set? 3, 2, 1, go. Dub. I just dubbed. Let's go. That's 5s to Michael. 5s to me, yeah. Wow, Matt. That's a. You know what, Matt? That's a good job.
Didn't think I had it in me still.
Wow.
Embarrassment.
Wow, been a while since college.
Richard embarrassed himself
I
on
did.
camera.
I did.
Thank you.
Round 2, rematch. Double or nothing.
Later on.
Double
in
or
the
nothing.
I proved myself.
No, damn way. You
It's
don't
over.
owe me 5.
Okay.
It just started foaming in my mouth, and I was like, oh.
Matt, that was clean, too.
Yeah, now I've got.
Competition-based question,
Oh, yeah.
and we can bring the rest of the crew into this one.
Oh, shit.
Who's the worst basketball player out of all of us? From Steven Spiegel.
Yeah, I'm going to count down 3, 2, 1, and
I'll say
everyone's
what-
got to say who they think is the worst of us three.
All right.
3, 2, 1.
Matt.
Did Matt just get the.
I heard Villani with an Alex. Looking
Matt,
at
you-
me dead in the eye.
Matt used to be lethal.
Listen. Listen.
You ever see my running jump shot?
Oh, my goodness.
The disrespect in this room right now. I'm very, very disappointed in each and every one of you.
Everyone said Matt.
Matt, you said you.
Yeah, you said you.
You want me to drink a
no.
beer? I'll do that. You want me to hit a jumper? We're gonna have a different
Matt
conversation.
used to be lethal. He had the effort, grabbing boards under the basket. Then he found Bud Light.